Hi everyone, Megan Kay here, shooting you a quick video. A lot of people have been reaching out to see how I'm doing, which is greatly, greatly appreciated. And at the same time, not necessary, because the truth of the matter is it's really less about how I'm doing and it's more about how you're doing. And I wanted to shoot you this video today because there have been a few things that are really, really helping me through all of this. This is an uncertain time, more uncertain than ever before, right? Because sometimes, truly all the time, things are quite uncertain, but we have the illusion of certainty, security, stability, all of that stuff. And right now, there's mostly not even that illusion for many of us. And that's scary, and it can be tricky, and it can be tough to navigate. And a lot of people right now are dealing with a lot of grief, a lot of loss as well. And moving through that can be challenging. There can be a lot of feelings that come up with it. And I wanted to share with you some things that are helping me immensely during this time. So the very first thing that has been helping is that I'm really aiming as much as possible to frame what is going on as a new experience, as a learning opportunity, as a time for growth. We can view change as scary, or we can view change as something that's inevitable, right? And it's not that we can't also have both. It's just that I prefer to try my best day to day, moment to moment, to just remember, okay, this is just what we're working through now. There have been really, really good times. There have been really tricky times. And this, whatever this is just what we're working through now. So I'm trying to frame things as positively as possible. The next thing that I'm doing is that I'm remembering what we are all about as a company. And it comes back to our name. All right, and that's empower. And obviously that's a play on the word empower, EMPOWER, right? But it was also something that the team came up with because, like, what does the M stand for? Does it stand for Megan? Does it stand for me personally? Like, you could say the M stands for me. Does it stand for magic? Nobody's really sure, but ultimately it is a play on the word empower. And what that word means is really, it's about taking your power. And for me, I think power ultimately comes down to choice, okay? And a lot of times things are especially scary when we feel we don't have a choice. And so what I want to encourage you to do as much as possible is to, in these times, whether they be difficult or scary or horrible or whatever you're calling them, ask yourself, what choices do I have? Okay? What can I do? All right? And really be focusing on what is immediately within your control. Okay? There, in any given day, is the choice to get out of bed or to stay in bed, right? The choice to drink water or not drink water. The choice to eat some vegetables or not eat some vegetables, to move your body a bit or not move your body a bit, okay? Because for the most part, when you're getting these messages from me, I can assume you still have water going, you still have food in your fridge, you still have the internet in some way, shape, or form, or you wouldn't be receiving the messages. So there's still plenty of choice. And I never want to minimize what anyone is going through, but what I think can be incredibly helpful during stressful and scary times is to remember that there's always the choice. And we always have the ability to ask ourselves, could I do this that might be just a little bit better or more productive in the moment for our mental health, our physical health, etc. Okay? So, choice. Empower yourself with what can I do? all right? And empower yourself also psychologically, okay? Because the thing about thoughts and feelings is that they can come through out of nowhere. They can come through because we see something, or they can come through because we remember something, or they can come through because something absolutely freaking horrible has happened, and we are seeing it, and we are thinking to ourselves, my goodness, this is just so awful. Remember, though, that we still have the choice to either let that thought, that feeling, etc., take up residence, to park itself, to become a permanent element in our lives. Of course, she's making an appearance. She can't stand not to be in the videos. Such a little diva. Anyway, so where I'm going with that is, okay, so, all right, I have a scary thought. I'm thinking things like, what if something happens to my parents and I'm not able to travel to go see them, or they're ill, and or one of them is dying and I'm unable to get a flight to Canada to visit them, or something like that. Okay, well, I could hang out there and really fixate on that and create a really dark scenario where now all of a sudden all the family in Canada is having the funeral and I can't go because the borders are shut down, and I'd have to quarantine and whatever when I get there. Or, okay, so now that's not as relevant now, right? But a few weeks ago I could have really created that in my mind. Or I can say to myself, okay, that is a bridge that is not even here yet. I don't need to cross that one yet. And what can I do in this moment to get myself out of that angst, that panic, that worry? Okay, so-and-so has lost their job. All right, what can we do? What can we do next? Do we still have food in the fridge? Yes. Is the mortgage still paid for this month? Yes. Is the electricity still on? Yes. Okay, what can we do next? And again, it is never to minimize what someone is going through. It's just to ask and remind that we do have the ability to decide, is this panic and is this fear going to become a part of my being, or am I going to move through it? Okay, and what is available to me right now to facilitate moving through it? Okay, so people reach out and they're saying, how are you doing? This must be horrible. You must be terrified. You must be all of these things. There are moments, absolutely, of those feelings, as I'm sure that there are moments of feelings like that for many of you. But I'm absolutely always very conscious of what comes in and what I let stay. Okay, so I encourage you as much as possible to make the choices that facilitate you feeling good and being able to make more productive choices. When I first opened my companies, there was the first company, the SLP Plymouth studio. I had a ton of fear and anxiety. I would wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat. I was not sure how we were going to make rent. Like out of the gate, I wasn't sure how we were going to make rent. It was very scary. It was the riskiest thing I'd ever done to that point financially. And every single day. So what I had done was, in a moment where I wasn't scared, I made a list of activities that I could do. Okay, and so I would go through that list. Okay, can I ask for a referral today? Can I call a client and tell them good job? Can I go out and talk to some strangers and tell them about what we're doing? Now, some of those were no, because in a panic, you know me, I'm an introverted extrovert, or an extroverted introvert, but I forget which one I am. No, I'm the introvert who's a little bit extroverted. Okay, so I don't want to talk to strangers. That's like no, I have to be in a really good mood to want to talk to strangers. So in a moment of panic, that is not my choice. Absolutely not my choice. Now, could I send an email? For sure. So you just need to ask yourself, and it might be basic stuff like, can I take a shower today? Can I drink some more water today? But what we do is we layer one thing on top of the other that allows us to be more productive and allows us to leverage ourselves out of whatever that mood is. So that's what I've got for you today. And I'm going to leave you with a very, very profound quote from a book that, if you have not read, I recommend reading. In fact, there are two books that I would absolutely say are worth a look. Dale Carnegie's How to Stop Worrying and Start Living is an incredibly good book. And then Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning is also a very, very powerful book. Human beings are fascinating, fascinating creatures, and our mind is incredibly powerful. And we are the only animal that I'm aware of that can make themselves sick with worry, that can fixate on negative situations that haven't even happened in the future, and that can still be upset about something that has happened long before. Remember, the only thing that we have control over is right now, this moment, okay? And you don't really need to be too worried about what's coming later, because it's not guaranteed. So the thought for you today, as we wrap this up, is Viktor Frankl's quote, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." I just wanted to say as well that I absolutely love you all. I miss you. I'm thinking of you. I will not pretend to imagine what is going through any one of your individual lives right now. But I do want you to know that I believe completely in the power of your mind and your ability to empower yourselves and to choose. Okay? I'll see you very, very soon, I hope. Bye.